Hey everybody, good morning or afternoon really. It's iCkEdMeL. Thank you for stopping by. Um, crazy stuff that has come out, allegations. I started a couple minutes early because I know a lot of people are waiting. I wanted to take a couple minutes to try to read some of the stuff. I had a friend on the phone reading it to me while I was doing a couple things because I wasn't even going to come on today. We've been going pretty crazy and hard the last couple days, and so we're going to talk about these allegations and indictment on charges for Jared from Adventures with Purpose, and it's pretty crazy. It's wild. I wouldn't have thought this, but I've noticed in a lot of these instances lately with some people online, and now this, it's weird how some things are coming back full circle. And this is just disgusting. The allegations, truly disgusting. And I know there's going to be some people that are pissed, don't want to hear it. I'm just presenting the information. Some people are probably just going to have a hard time. And this guy has to have his day in court too. So all parties are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. I was like, let me just say that shit, right? So, but we're going to go over the information. Let me put this stuff away for now. I'm using the post that SF posted because he had the clearer document. I do have the documents too myself, but it was all blurred out and stuff. Not blurred, but it was like the quality was low. I'll still show you, but I just wanted to show you the higher quality one. Actually, let me look and let me get a close up. And I'm going to try to focus. We'll focus on this situation. Okay. This situation. I'm going to leave all the other stuff off right now. We're just going to focus on Jared and these allegations and the alleged victim. And we're going to go through some of the posts. There's a lot of posts on Reddit. Apparently this person had been trying to get attention on this for a while, and they haven't been able to get anybody to look at this or talk about this. And I don't have any affiliation with these people, so I don't care about talking about this. I'm like, I don't feel like oh my God, I shouldn't talk about this because it's Adventures with Purpose. It's Jared. I don't know. Anyway, so and so this is from 1992, but this indictment is recent. And so it says here, has Jared's name and date of birth, count 1, R of a child, first degree felony, and charges that on or between October 1st, 1992 and November 1st, 1992 at and within San Pete County, state of Utah, the defendant did have sexual intercourse with a child who was under the age of 14, which we're going to get into in a little bit. And one of the things, the probable cause affidavit, that person alleges they were like between 9 and 10. This would make, I believe at that time, Jared would have been 17. And this person, the alleged victim, is his cousin. And this person alleges that there's other people, there's other victims. That's just what they're claiming. All right. Now, count 2, R of a child, on or between January 1st, 1992 and December 31st, 1992 at and within San Pete County, state of Utah, the defendant did have sexual intercourse with a child who's under the age of 14. So that's the first document, one of the documents that we're looking at. Just so you guys know, too, I wanted to show you this real quick. So this is the charges here. Jared Leisek, and so filed November 3rd, 2022. Okay, so this 1990s, but being charged, indicted now. The other thing, before we get into Reddit, because it's a freaking mess. So, I mean, we'll probably be following this. I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, he's going to have his day in court, Jared Leisek. Wednesday, November 30th, initial appearance, 10:30 a.m. So November 30th. Okay. So he if you fail to obey the summons, the court will issue a warrant for your arrest. Again, sorry for this quality is not that great. The person sent it to me and the quality just came out like that. Let me see what else we got before we get into all the other stuff. And these are just special instructions for Jared. You have to appear at the Sanpete County Jail at 1500 South for booking in and release. Bring with you the jail, the summons, it's hard to read, and the attached information. Document by at least 8 a.m. The day of your court appearance. You're encouraged to have an attorney. If you're indigent, which clearly he's not, the court will consider whether you are entitled to a court-appointed attorney. An application is to be filled out and given to Sanpete County Attorney's Office on the day of your appearance. So now let me get to the probable cause. And by the way, everybody, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I had set the stream for 1:45, so people might just be getting notified now. I don't know. Let me do the probable cause. And by the way, I'm probably not going to be looking at the chat much. So if you're trying to chat and text me, if I'm reading the document, it's really hard for me to reply and do all that stuff. After I'll start reading the comments. So state of probable cause, the defendant and victim are cousins. Okay. That's what the document says. In 1992, the victim was between 9 and 10 years old. The defendant is 7 years older than the victim. Just before November 1st, 1992, the victim lived in Ephraim, which is located in Sanpete County. So 7 years old. Okay, let's see. I mean, they were both underage. It's still not right though, but they were both underage cousins. And then and what we're gonna get to it too. They're saying it's rape. Like the person, we're gonna get to the details of what the alleged victim is saying and their allegations, but they were saying this was like forced. This is what, according to them. About the time the defendant and the victim were in the victim's bedroom when the defendant pinned the victim to the ground, pulled her underwear down, and put his penis. And by the way, viewer discretion is advised. You see the little thing on the side. It's going to be graphic. This is adults. If you're a child, you shouldn't be watching this stream. This is for adults. Serious topic, serious conversation. So, and this person, I could only imagine what it must be like if you truly are a victim and you're trying to say something to somebody that's in this big organization, well-known, popular, whatever. A lot of people aren't going to probably believe you. They're probably going to shut you up if it's true. During another incident, so he put the penis in her vagina. During another incident the same year, the defendant and the victim were at their grandparents' house in, I think that says Miami. I'm not sure. I don't know if that says Miami, when the defendant laid on top of the victim and put his penis in her vagina. Information was obtained from the following witnesses: Detective Corey, Devin Curbs. And so this is dated November 3rd, 2022. All right. Let me get to, I'm going to show the charges one more time for the new people that are joining, but then we're going to just keep it moving for people that need to ask the same thing again. If they're just joining, you're just going to have to rewind back because I can't keep recapping. But these are the counts. He has his day in court. Okay. So November 30th, guilty until proven oh my God. Innocent until proven guilty. My bad. Innocent until proven guilty. Said that backwards. So he has his day in court. He's going to have to go defend himself. I'm sure he's going to have to get an attorney. All right, let's move on to Reddit. Because it gets even more, messed up and interesting. If you want, I'll put the link when I have a chance after the live stream. I'll put the link to this form if you want to check it out, because this form has the link to the court website. You have to pay $5 if you want to pull up the documents yourself. The alleged victim, they've been making posts, and so it says here, the victim/survivor listed in the court documents has confirmed in the thread that she is the same person who months ago posted her story of abuse. These are screenshots of information supporting her claim. She previously posted this information, and I'm sharing it again an email chain. So we're going to read an email chain, I believe, between her and Jared. An email chain where she confronts her abuser and corroborates her account dated February 4th, 5th/5th, 2022. This is right before Jared disappeared from the AWP YouTube channel. Okay. Emails the victim's name as well as identifying info for other family members have been redacted. So let's start. I can just zoom this in, right? Can I zoom it in? I have to save it. Let me just save it. Rather save it so then we can kind of just zoom in like this. It looks a lot easier and better for us to read together. So, do you feel better as a person doing things like this? This is February 4th. Does this make you feel less of a child molesting monster parading around in human skin? There is no forgiveness for what you did to me in my home in Utah, grandma and grandpa's house in Las Vegas. Or maybe that's what it was. Las Vegas, I guess. It looked like it was hard to read that. And right above grandma and grandpa's head in their very own truck. The rest of the family is just about as much to blame as you because you didn't turn in when they didn't turn you in when you knew better. And I was just a child and you did not know better. Sorry, I was just a child and did not know better. And yet you're still welcomed at family get-togethers or like my grandfather's funeral, the while in the parking lot getting ready to get out of the car and attend, I seen your face and became so violently ill, I couldn't even attend. I had to drive down to the street to the CVS and watch it all via Zoom. All these people may be calling you a hero and saying that you're doing such great things, but we both know the truth about you, and you're obviously not ashamed of your past. But I also am not ashamed of my past, and I have a voice, and I use it as much as I possibly can. Your secrets are not hidden. AWP support team. I'm so very sorry for the things that we cannot change. It is unfortunate that Leisek and Jushi lineage, I don't know what that is, experienced the shit that you and I and many other cousins were brought into. Like yourself, I was once a victim by multiple people, both in and out of the family. It's unfortunate when families like ours experience. Oh, that works. Okay, this is the continuation we were reading. Like yourself, I was once a victim by multiple people in both in and out of the family. It is unfortunate when families like ours experience molestation. Many of us cousins got together to acknowledge what had happened in our youth and made a pact to put an end to it and protect our children from anything like that ever happening to them. I have myself tried to apologize to you and to have an open conversation with you about it to answer any questions you may have. So if this is Jared, and I don't know, allegedly, if this is Jared replying, if that's him, I guess he's claiming, this person would be claiming that him himself was abused, which I have heard stories. I'm not excusing anything, which I have heard stories that sometimes these people go on to do the same thing that they've been through, the same traumas. They'll do it themselves over. The first time that I apologized to you, I'm very sorry for the way that it was handled, for I was under the impression that our mother knew and that I felt it was appropriate at the time to have the conversation with both of you. I did not mean to embarrass you or catch you off guard. The second time that I tried was not to clear my own conscience, but to help you heal and help any struggles you may have been having, as many of us had to learn how to overcome and move forward. You essentially told me to go F myself and told me how I had embarrassed you the first time around. I'm sorry. My understanding is that other cousins also have tried to have the same conversation with you. Jesus, what the hell is going on in that family? We are all now adults, and it is healthy for us to acknowledge and address those unfortunate circumstances from our past and our childhood and adolescent years. Wow. We just read that one. While there is a lot of shit that happened throughout my own life personally, from molestation, abandonment, growing up in foster care, and any other shit along the way, I would not change a thing for it has made me who I am today. I cannot apologize for others for anything that has happened in your life, but I have done my best to acknowledge directly with you my own mistakes. I hold no secrets as to this with my own parents and grandma and grandpa, with your mother, aunt, somebody, and my own wife and children. I have even discussed publicly about my situation and the unfortunate shit that has happened within families. Do we pinpoint it to the Leisek and the Jewish lineage, or do we pinpoint it to Mormonism? And this is kind of like, this is kind of, like I said, I had my friend reading this to me while I was prepping for the stream a little bit. They're going to go into a conversation about Mormons. And remember, we just talked about, they were talking about Utah. It gets weird. Do we need to pinpoint this to the Leisek and the Jewish lineage, or do we pinpoint it to Mormonism? I do not have an answer. There's no way for me to understand the hatred and resentment that you must have for me over the 3 decades later. I heard about you driving into the cemetery a few weeks later. Trust me, had I known that you had a desire to be there and that I was the only reason keeping you away, I would have 100% given up my time to do what I could to avoid that ceremony so that you would feel comfortable and have your time with grandma and the rest of the family. It is your decision and your choice if you ever want to accept my apology. I have made peace in my life with all things bad, including this situation. If you ever want to discuss, I'm always available to have that conversation with you, either in person or over the phone. Sincerely, Jared. Somebody said gaslighting. Maybe. So looks like this is the reply back. If you truly want to apologize and pay for your actions, walk into a police station with me and confess your actions. Get it on record and have yourself registered as a sex offender. That you are my only regret in my life. Was not being as let me do that again. Have yourself registered as a sex offender. That you are my only regret in life was not being as open about you and your abuse to anyone and everyone who would listen like I am now. And turning you into the police like you should have been. I don't understand how you can try and get me to sympathize with you and your past issues. Not at all. It angers me twice as much to know that not only did you know firsthand the torture you were inflicting upon me because you experienced it yourself, that makes you an even bigger monster than I have ever pictured it in my mind. Absolutely disgusting. You're an emotional vampire. I noticed all the therapy terms you used in your message, typical narcissism at its best. How somebody could ever come to peace with damaging such a young, innocent human being is beyond me. Proof of a completely broken mind, assuming that there would be any kind of peace after those types of actions, or that peace should even be deserved. You are a pedophile. This is what they're stating. I'm just reading what they're stating. Do not act like you were not old enough to know what you were doing to me during those ages that you could have been tried as an adult at that age and should have been. And as to the comments about my life and the things that had happened to me, I don't know who or why you're even discussing me with, but I can guarantee you that nobody really knows anything, because just like your situation, I've kept my mouth shut until recently. And I don't talk to any of the family despite what other, as you say, cousins have come to you and said. So be a real man, turn yourself in and pay for your crimes, or continue to be the small, sad mental midget that couldn't keep his libido under control and blames it on his past. Oh, shit. Hey, Umbrella Guy, man, what's up? Welcome. Legend with that whole... I'm glad you sidestepping for a second. I'm glad you overcame that CPS thing. I was watching your Twitter. It's crazy what people do. This whole situation is just, I don't know, man. I'm blown away. Again, like I said, he's going to have his day in court. I think it said November 30th. We'll be following. I think it is important to kind of talk about this. Let this person have a voice. We'll see, what happens in court. Unfortunately, your desire to have a 46-year-old male live the mistakes of a 12-year-old simply is not realistic. So this seems like him replying back now. Thank God we're not forever judged by our actions as youth, and I'm grateful that many of us cousins acknowledged. That's just so weird. What? How many other cousins? Like, what was that? A family thing? Was that going on in the family? Was that like a commonplace thing in the family? There was just all these cousins are just, taking advantage allegedly of younger kids or younger ones. I don't know. Maybe that they think that's normal or something. Many of us cousins acknowledge and stop those sins which happened to us and those sins we once committed as a result of grooming. It is healthy for you to now be open and talk about the past. You, as a full-grown woman in your early 40s, are to be commended for facing and standing up to those actions which happened to you in your past. I don't know, man. That sounds kind of like bullshit. Like, kind of like, I don't know, like here, pat yourself on the back, Well, and anyway, she is standing up now, apparently. Spread awareness and stop the cycle as we cousins within the family have for our own children and grandchildren. Protect your children and grandchildren as we have to help the world become a better place. We live in a society that acknowledges the mistakes made in the past, accepting those who have proven to change. My life holds no secrets, and everyone in my office feels your pain and has seen the email string. So everybody's seen, apparently, according to this thing, they've seen the back and forth within that office, within the company, I guess. For I don't filter my own emails. They know me for the man that I am and not for the mistakes of a 12-year-old who learned to recognize, which actually I calculated to, I think he was 16 from what I calculated. I could be wrong. I calculated if the document stated that she was 9 to 10, it said under 14, and then in the probable cause between 9 to 10, I calculated it back to, oh my God, I'm going to get to that. Somebody had sent me a text of some of the disgusting allegations too. I think we're still on the surface. I don't know. So I believe he was older than 12, but I don't know. We'll see. 16 and 17 is the ages that I calculated for him. But for a 12-year-old who learned to recognize the cycle and break the cycle, as many of us cousins did, you were younger and not ready to accept my apology and recognize the steps we made for future generations to protect them. I hope you can one day find forgiveness and peace. That's crazy. Feel free to have any last words, for I will not respond to any further attacks to my character today based upon those actions as a youth. Is it an attack on your character? If this stuff was true, is it really an attack on your character? If that was true at some point? I can only imagine if this stuff was true and this is the reply that she's getting. If it was true, I'd be infuriated to see this stuff. She would desire a healthy adult conversation as to the past, because he's trying to tell her, you're not healthy. You went through this stuff and you're not being healthy, confronting me and talking about it. Should you desire to have a healthy adult conversation as to the past, I'm open to helping you through I'm going to help you. I'm open to helping you through the acceptance and growth that many of us have faced and dealt with. Bruh. Let's see. We read this part. I think this is the continuation. Here we go. If you have not done so already, I may suggest reaching out to and lean on her for guidance as one closer to your age. Reach out to who? To your age, who within the family has gone through this with us. Oh, okay. It's redacted. It's redacted. So he suggested somebody in the family. If you have not done so already, I may suggest reaching out to and lean on her for guidance as one closer to your age, who within the family has gone through this with us. I'm not sure your relationship with Aunt Blank or your mother, but I'd suggest leaning on the as well, for they experienced much of the same in their own youth. Damn. So if this is really him, they're claiming that this is a family thing, and I guess it's been going on in the family. And I guess they're trying to overcome it. And here we go. So here's the reply. Let's do some math here. I was 9 or 10 when living in Utah, and you forced me to have sex with you on my bathroom floor upstairs. You are 6 or 7 years older. This is what I was just telling you about the calculations. And it's not just, it's literally the court documents that said the calculations. Like you can just track it back. So you are 6 or 7 years older than me. That makes you older than 12. In Las Vegas at grandma and grandpa's house, you were living there and you had your own car, a Volkswagen Beetle, and was driving it when it ran. So please stop making it sound as if you were a young child during the time you were molesting me. Maybe you started that young with others, but as you are not willing to face your wrongdoing in a proper fashion, then it is on you and you alone. Anyone who supports you in your sick delusional fantasy of forgiving yourself for the pain and suffering you caused and willingly and knowingly caused not only a child but your own family member, but I do appreciate you admitting it all in writing. Crazy. And he wrote back, you're welcome. I hope it helps you in the healing process. Bro, that's such bullshit. I would be pissed. I don't know. I just feel like it's, I mean, maybe it is a step or something, right? I don't know. If this is really him. And I know people that have emailed AWP and they've sent me screenshots, and this is usually what it says. I mean, this person really should have put the drop down menu. I'm sure maybe if they're out there somewhere, so we can confirm the email address, because this name here, anybody can kind of put that in. But if you hit the drop down, then you actually see the actual email address. I mean, for court, I'm sure they'll do it. They have the email. They're going to have to show that. But I believe this exchange really happened. This conversation happened between these two people. There's more too, though. This is, we're not done yet. So this is the person's name on Reddit, okay? Note Revolutionary 736. This is the alleged victim, right? And so again, viewer discretion advised. This is only for adults. You shouldn't have kids around. This is a little. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. I told a good many of people that the man they all think is a huge hero to the community is really not as great as a man as they might think. He abused me and many other of our family members, and it was all covered up by family. Okay, I mean, this is just wild. If these conversations that we just read are true, it corroborates this post here. He abused me and many others in our family members, and it was all covered up by family. I had maybe like 3 people, if even that, say anything other than unkind and rude comments. The few who did deleted them. I did have a few kind souls reach out in a message, and that was awesome of them to do so. This has been a very hard thing to do, standing up and telling the truth all these years later. And with that, and with what evidence I did have, I finally pressed charges. In one of the states, he abused me because thankfully I do not fall in the statutes of limitations. I've had so many people claim it cannot be true. I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of people. And again, he does have his day in court. He has to go, they're going to have to go take this out and handle it. I do feel for this person, especially if this is true. It seems like it possibly could be, but again, we have to wait and see. Well, that would be because I said it earlier, the family covered it up and nothing was ever reported. I just don't understand how people can stand behind a person they know nothing about other than the fake mask worn to cover the monster underneath. He's a YouTube personality. That does not make him a saint. It did not help Bill Cosby, Roman Polanski, Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey. I could go on, but you get the point. Everyone thought they were great people until I have been silenced. I have been silenced. Anytime I try to speak out, what's everyone scared of? If all they believe it's a lie. If they believe all, it's a lie. There's another post here too. There was one that I missed. Is this in here? Okay. Please be aware I had no idea until recently when I had the unfortunate chance of coming across a video of my childhood rapist, Jared Leisek, my cousin, yes, my own flesh and blood, and I wasn't his only family victim. And honestly, who knows how many others there are out there that aren't part of our family. Due to his diving group Adventures with Purpose, this man is regarded as a hero and an angel, and he is invited into people's homes with welcome loving arms. He has been through the systems, CPS, the Mormon Church, therapies, and so many more, as you'll be able to tell from his writing. But I do know for a fact that he did not start with me. He didn't stop with me either. He at one point, like you will read, did verbally admit to my mother, molested me, obviously skimming over the more horrific parts, like his attempted sodomizing of her daughter directly above her. My grandmother and my grandmother's heads, by the way, and the fact that at the age of 9 to 10, they're talking about the cousin, obviously skimming over the more horrific parts, like his attempted sodomizing of her daughter, right, directly above my grandfather and my grandmother's heads, by the way, and the fact that the age of 9 or 10, he gave me a yeast infection from raping me. Oh my God. And I had no idea. So I had to go through the trauma of my mother and my grandmother finding white stuff in my panties and treating me horribly and questioning me and punishing me for the problem. When he told her, she started to cry, hugged him, and told him that she forgave him. Are you kidding me? Bro, if that's true, she never turned him into the police, and I was never got any form of help or anybody to talk about it. We went out to go travel on the carnival, which made me unable to be anywhere for more than a week, which meant that I couldn't say anything to anyone. My own mother protected him and never even talked to me about it, other than to tell me she had been blank and her story was worse than mine. Also, something happened to her mother. He finally admitted it in writing because he and the family are all very sure that the status limitations have passed and he's safe, so he can. But just so you're aware and can keep your own daughters safe, be very careful around this man. His business is in Bend, Oregon, and it's sad. It makes me can't read the rest. Okay. Just to clarify, again, this person has posted the links to these emails before in this form. I wouldn't be sharing them otherwise. So, wow. I mean, again, like I said, this guy's time in court. He'll have to go defend himself. I'm sure he's more than adequate to get an attorney. They got a lot of finances. I hope this person, the alleged victim, I hope they have the sources that they need. Maybe they should start a GoFundMe. Maybe people would help them out. Maybe they'll come forward and talk more. I don't know. I'm going to take a look at some of the comments. For the new people that have just joined, let me just show you this real quick. I know some people are just, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but so the situations are from October 1st, 1992 and November 1st, 1992, the counts of rape, and January 1st, 1992 and December 31st, 1992. And it says, state of Utah, the defendant did have sexual intercourse with a child who was under the age of 14 in violation of Utah code. For the people wondering, so the charges, the indictment of charges, this is all recent. Filed 11/3/2022. The situation happened in the 1990s, but this is new. And he has to go, he's been summoned to court, okay, for November 30th, 2022. He has an initial appearance. So I'll probably follow this. I'm sure a lot of people are going to follow this. There's probably people that are going to be afraid to talk about this. You can't, I guess you can't say anything about certain people or whatever, or even cover it. I'll be fair though. I don't know. Should we do calls or should we just call it? Oh, and let me get the super chats real quick. Cinema Shogun. Thank you, bro, just for your support. He says here, I told y'all all these people were cousin lovers. LOL. Now look. You should definitely check out his channel. Check out his channel on YouTube, Cinema Shogun. He's been covering to the Quentin Simon stuff. I've kind of fallen back a little bit, but I want to do an update at some point, either live stream or just a direct video. But he's been on point, piece by piece, and I think they're always like short videos. So if you don't have time, I didn't realize he had a review channel. If you don't have time, you can watch these shorter clips and stay up to date. I try to watch when I can. It's pretty good. Oh, this shit was crazy too. I'm gonna leave this alone because the focus is this story. I'm not even gonna mention this weirdo. But definitely check out Cinema's channel. I've been liking the guy more and more. No calls. Yeah, maybe we should just I'll just talk a little more and then we'll leave it like that. I'll see if I can find anything else. I'm sure more stuff is gonna come out. Lindsay says Jared's birthday 75 and the charges state in the indictment are in October 92, making him 17. I mean, if this is true, there's just so many weird things about it. I mean, the cousin thing, the family thing, it seems like clearly there's issues in that family. The age, the rape, alleged rape, age. I can't imagine how intimidating it must be. Because even on YouTube, it's like you can't even say anything about these guys or anything about you can't even disagree with anything. They've done amazing work. The organization have done amazing work. They found, a bunch of cars, missing people. I don't particularly like how they handled the Kylie Rodney thing. It's amazing that they found her because who knows how long, people would have been looking for Kylie. I don't agree how they handled, in my opinion, all they wanted to imply the entire time. There's just multiple channels is foul play the entire time. It's just, I think they just fed into and propelled all the false allegations that people were making online about not just me, but multiple people. Even sitting up on panel with this guy that's trash, this other YouTuber, the 3 million subscriber guy that said this girl's fake, sitting side by side. There's just a couple of things, but all that stuff is besides the fact. It really is besides the fact because that's all online shit what we're talking about. Well, not really because it really affects. It's pertaining to a dead deceased girl, but it's aside from this topic that we're talking about now. And it's just, if true, it's just horrible. And I'm not allied to any YouTubers. Like I don't feel like compelled that I have to, I can't say anything bad or disagree because then I'm going to lose a bunch of subscribers or whatever. Doesn't matter to me. And this is just Jared too. Like this is not, again, the other guys, I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that comes out. I don't know. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Unsupervised Mannix, thank you for the membership. And I'll even reach out to this person. If this person wants to come and talk, I mean, I know they don't want to do anything to hurt hopefully they have an attorney already. But if they want like somewhere to talk or tell their story or whatever, I'm here. Or any other YouTuber that's willing to take you on. Or any other medium. Maybe their news channel will take you on. Leisek, thank you so much for the super chat. Says prayers to all the survivors of sexual assault. Sweet Buyer, thank you for the super chat. Says thank you for handling the sensitive situation in a respectful manner for the victims. Jazz, thank you for the membership. Hit the like button and virtual hug. Check It TV. Hey man, how you doing? Appreciate you covering this. You're a brave man. Thanks, man. Is that the real Check It TV? I saw those people come really hard for you too. I'm talking about like just YouTube in general. Um, let me see if there's anything. Oh, we can look at the comments. I just think I don't know the things that I've been seeing online lately. How some things are coming full circle to some of these characters online, and some of these people are the loudest people screaming at the top of their lungs. And you start to wonder why some of these people are, loud and screaming and doing all kinds of shit. Not. I don't know. I don't know much about Jared, but talking about some of these other people, and then now you're seeing this alleged thing. Somebody here said I already canceled my membership 2 months ago, not because of Jared, but because of the direction they were taking the videos. And for those saying it's taken away from the people they help, there are several other YouTube channels that are doing the same as AWP with the same amount of success. Chaos Drive. Oh, I never heard of Chaos Drivers. I like Chaos Drivers a lot, and they could definitely use the funds. Them and exploring with the Nug. I've seen a few comments make their way to their recent YouTube video. A couple of viewers say they want some sort of statement. I'm sure they should put out a statement. I agree. They can't possibly release another video until this is addressed. I'm sure they'll put out something. I would think they should, or maybe Jared himself. Even if it's not true, or I'm going to take this in court. If these screenshots, listen. This thing is going to be damning. If this alleged victim, if she can, do the pull down of this, because this is important, and I'm sure that they're going to ask that in court. If she can do the pull down so we can verify this email, that's pretty damning in court, I would think. If this is true and they can verify this is the email to AWP and this is Jared, that's damning. And I wonder if it's true, if maybe all the family was doing things like this, or maybe there was some kind of like trauma in the family that just kept repeating generationally. That doesn't make it right, but Rhonda, thank you for always being here and truthful and fair. Thanks, appreciate it. Let me see what else we have. Why would you not post a screenshot? 1992, it was 17. Is this why he fled to Grenada? I had heard too. I don't know the AWP history. I had heard that at some point this guy left somewhere, because there was a video too. I don't want to play it because I'm sure these guys aren't going to be happy. Gypsy, you want to talk? Gypsy, DM me. I'll call you directly if you want some things to say. DM me on Twitter. There was a video that they did called "What Is Your Purpose?" motivation video, Unbroken. I'm not gonna play it, but it says at 7:54, 7 minutes and 54 seconds, says has family bridges that have been burned. At 33:06, he talks about terrible decisions, quitting school, left the country, went to Bahamas. I haven't watched the video myself. Maybe I'll watch it someday. I mean, and if this stuff is true, let's say it is true, can you overcome this? Oh, yes, that's a good idea. Can you put up the number for sexual assault helpline? All right, let's do that. Okay. Let me just put that here. If it is true, I mean, if he just like admitted it, went to court, whatever, and like apologized, maybe he could overcome it or something, or come out of it and just truly, if it's true. Sorry, this happened at this time, I don't know, or maybe if he even told the story of his family or something and apologized, if it's true. All right. I put it in the description. I'll also pin a comment. Sorry, the comments are going really fast too. I didn't realize. I can read some of the chat too, get some of your guys' thoughts. Let me pin it. Okay, Gypsy, let me see, did you DM me? No. Or hold on. Maybe send a request? No. Oh yeah, Laurette. Yeah, so we both get canceled if you call on this one. Pre-law, thank you for becoming a member. Julie, thank you for the super chat. Says at 17, abuse or not, you know a 9-year-old is off limits. Yeah, that's pretty sick if true. I mean, at 9, if there was a 6 or 7 year difference, he would have been 16 or 17. Yeah. And the thing is too, is she's alleging that it was forced. Not that a child like that can give consent, but there's that on top of it too. So yeah, they're claiming here that he fled to Grenada. Oh, isn't that Bahamas then? Grenada. Oh no, where's Grenada at? There's a bunch of Grenadiers everywhere, I guess. City of Nicaragua, Spain. Let me see. There is a Bahamas. There's a Bahama. Maybe it's Bahamas. I don't know. Hello? Oh, it's his own country? Really? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Flossie says I was the same age as them. I was the same age as Jared in 1992. I was a senior in high school. See, these people, they haven't seen the probable cause affidavit. I showed you guys the affidavit where it states 9 to 10. The other document says 14 or younger. Oh, here it is, a reply. I was younger than that. 12/13 was the age when he admitted. I use that word lightly because he definitely made it sound a lot less worse than it really was. My mother at a family get together years later. He is only being charged with what happened in Utah. Ooh, this does not cover what happened in Las Vegas. I was younger at that point. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry. I misunderstood. People who can do things like that are effing monsters. Did the statute of limitations already pass in Nevada? I think it did. You're incredibly strong, by the way. Yep. Yeah, Nevada cannot move forward with charges, but they did make my official take my official report and statement, and they were kind enough to send it on to Utah. Well, that's good. So the detective or I did not have to make a trip. Thanks. Do you know how to get page 2? It just stays on page 1. Thank you. Appreciate the work on this. I've been a Jared defender almost since I started watching, but this changes everything. He's accused of 2 counts. Keyword accused of 2 counts of raping a child younger than 14. Unless he is acquitted, he's going to prison. That's what the other document we read. Because he was under 21 at the time of the crime, it could be for up to 15 years per count. If he was over 21, it would be 25 years per. If I'm reading the law correctly, prison is mandatory if convicted. ET, I think The minimum is 6 years per charge for those younger than 21. I imagine the prosecutor would push for a plea deal. Or maybe they'll try to settle or something. I think it's important to mention that this raises a massive, massive safeguarding issue with AWP. Through AWP, Jared and everyone working with AWP has access and a position of trust over grieving, vulnerable families who are going through the worst moments of their lives. They have access to young children who are frightened and hurting. If there is any evidence that he did it, whether it's enough for a court to convict him or not, he should be immediately removed from that position for the safety of every family who has or will work with AWP. You just cannot take chances on this shit when it comes to potential predators and deeply vulnerable persons in crisis. This reminds me of a post I made in the True Crime Forum that had a Kylie post shared here. Jared did a meet and greet, and the way he treated the kids was atrocious. I went back to find my comments, and I also provided a link to the video. This man should not be around kids. This meet and greet happened long before Kylie was in the news, but somehow the subject came up in context of conversation. This is just something else. Wait. Is this part of it? Oh, and the family of Nicholas Allen was there. Some of them kids. I need to fact check that it was Nicholas's family, but it was definitely the family of someone they recovered. At the time, he'd put them on camera, such as his younger sister, and prompt them to talk about Nick. It was gross. You don't exploit kids like that. It was Nick Allen's family. I just watched a part of the video with his younger sister, and I wish I hadn't. It's chilling and infuriating how casual he was about asking her to talk about something so traumatic. I gotta check that out. I wonder what that Nick Allen's family. You don't use people as a mere means to an end, especially children. If a child wants to talk about their trauma, you allow them to bring it up, and you certainly don't put them on a live stream for views. If someone close to the child wants to initiate a conversation with them, it needs to be done in a way that makes the kid feel safe as possible. I'm not linking the video. It's easy enough to find on the AWP channel with the info mentioned. In lieu of the new info about Jared, I've decided to link it. The interaction begins around 1 hour and 25. I'm not going to play it here because I'm sure these people probably watching, maybe watching, somebody's watching, and maybe they're probably not going to like. I don't want to take any chances of people trying to take the video down. So, but I'll put it on Discord, and we could even watch it together on Discord. What's telling is that after Jared finishes talking with Nicholas's sister, he pans the camera to the right to a little boy. The boy says, "I'm not related to Nick. I'm just a fan." Jared was like, "Oh, cool." And then immediately panned again to the right where Nicholas's minor cousin was. He proceeds to interview him as well. That made me sad because the little boy was standing in front of a person whom he was a fan and would have probably made his day if Jared had taken the time to talk to him and made him feel included. And this alleged victim replies back, "Thank you. Everyone says I wanted fame or money from this, but this is exactly why I had to do something and say something. I could not have said it any better." I'm surprised they're being supportive on Reddit. I'm surprised. I thought Reddit was pretty, savage sometimes. Anyone who questions your motives has no freaking clue what it's like to have been abused in such a horrific way. I'm sorry for the awful things that have been said to you in this form, or maybe not, when you first tried to be heard. For anyone who doesn't know, even someone from AWP was here calling her names. Wow. And harassing her. Sickening. I feel like I have heard of things people say they thought this guy was off. I like I said, I never really followed them much. I actually followed them with this Kylie case. I've always heard of them because I'm very aware of my surroundings, like of creators, YouTubers, and stuff like that, especially within like true crime, I guess. Thank you for the courage it took to share your story and push justice despite the community behaving like a textbook example of why survivors don't come forward with the gaslighting, victim blaming, and utter despicable behavior. I hope this is a moment that can facilitate healing and move forward. OP, why not a screenshot? They did. It was above your comments. Must have been deleted. why is he getting charged 30 years later? Somebody said. And there was a reply. Judging from the other posts in this thread, he recently admitted. So that conversation, the ones that we went over, this is from February this year. And so he recently admitted via email to the victim, which gave her the proof she needed. And so this person says, okay, so I was SA'd 19 years ago, which means sexually assaulted 19 years ago by my best friend's brother. Had a crush on him and no one believed me. I liked him, but I said no. I was 13. He was 18. I was 18 when I brought my emails to police that had him admitting it vaguely. And they said it'd been too long. And there wasn't really and there wasn't any real evidence. The F. And they reply here, I'm so sorry to hear this. My heart is breaking. I hate the statute's limitation on SA. It's typically such a short time. Most people can't even begin to cope with what happened to them before the time is up. I got lucky with Utah. Nevada gave me 2 years to file. I don't know. This is crazy. This is something that, like, I mean, I'm telling you, I woke up today and I slept in because we've been doing a lot this week and we were up late last night. And so I was like, I'm just going to kind of chill and like take care of things and like kind of take some time off a little bit. And literally my friend reaches out to me and tells me about this. I forgot who it was. Somebody. Levin. Levin reached out to me. Level-headed reached out to me. And I was just like, no way. No way. Kathy in the chat. Maybe I can take a look at the chat now. And then we'll get off soon. We're almost at an hour, so I think we did pretty good today. I'm gonna check out the chat now. Just pull it up on my big screen here so I can see better. BB, thanks for coming a member. Shelly, thank you for the super chat. Hello. I've also heard about a fraud thing too. I was told about that. I was just called Just Julia. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get. Oh yeah, I heard about this thing with Jared. I heard about this. Shelly, thank you so much for the super chat. Peoples have left AWPS recent as a few years. Some people say there's been a change. Like I said, I haven't watched them like that, but I've heard that throughout the years. I don't know what happened. Mike, thank you so much for the super chat. Says thank you. Flossie says, did you not see my morning? Did not see my morning taking this turn. I know I was literally on the phone with Flossie when the whole thing happened, when I first heard about it. Deja vu, has it been stated why she decided to come out now? Yeah, I think from that Reddit post that we just read, allegedly he admitted it in email what happened. And so the thing is, this is what I'm interpreting it as, okay? This person, I believe, the alleged victim, they feel that the reason he admitted this is because they thought that, oh, the statute of limitations is up. And so, maybe I'll give you some peace or whatever, but you can't charge me. I can't be arrested. I can't be taken to court. The statute of limitations is up. But there was an incident in, I don't want to mess it up. There was an incident in a different state. I'm forgetting whether it was Utah or Las Vegas. I thought the statute of limitations was up in Nevada, but they passed the information to Utah. And so because of this alleged admittance via email, and there's no statute of limitations over there, or I don't know what it is over there, they're able to charge it over there. That's why this document says the state of Utah. That's my understanding of the story. Now, there was this whole situation, too, with Jared, I guess, that says the Securities and Exchange Commission announced that on May 25, 2001, the U.S. District Court in Eugene, Oregon, entered judgments against Jared Leisek and his brother Brian Leisek. In its complaint filed on March 1st, 2001, the commission alleged that the defendants operated a monumentum stock-picking website called TNTstock.com, through which the brothers issued stock recommendations on the website via email newsletter to more than 13,000 TNT subscribers. After the recommendations were released, the price and trading volume of the profiled stocks rose dramatically, often more than doubling the pre-recommendation levels. The complaint alleged that the defendants posted false information on a Yahoo club message board frequented by TNT subscribers. The TNT complaint further alleged that the defendants falsely claimed, among other things, that TNT's representatives held no more than 5,000 shares of any stock profiled on the website, and that the TNT's representatives would never sell shares until 30 minutes after issuing a recommendation. In fact, the complainant alleged that defendants usually held more than 20,000 shares and sold most of their shares within 30 minutes of release of recommendation. So they're selling their shares off, recommending it, so then people go and buy of their shares within 30 minutes of the release. So they're recommending what you should buy. People are going and buying that shit, spending all their money, and then they're like, well, all right, we made some money, we made good money, let's sell it now. So we can cash in on apparently lying to people and scamming people is what it seems like. Held more than 20,000 shares and sold most of the shares within 30 minutes of their release of the recommendations. The defendants are alleged to have made $195,000 in profits from the scheme. And I guess I'll say this is allegedly. I don't know if this is real allegedly because it's right here, but they're saying defendants and allegations. Without admitting or denying the allegations contained in the complaint, the defendants consented to the entry of judgments permanently enjoining them from future violations and anti-fraud provisions of Section 10B of the Securities Exchange Act 1934 and Rule 10B-5 thereunder, and ordering them to pay a disgorgement totaling $195,000 and prejudgment interest thereon, but waiving payment of disgorgement. How do you say that? Disgorgement, and not assessing civil penalties based upon the defendant's demonstrated inability to pay. For tips on how to avoid interest pump and dunk stock manipulation schemes, check out this website. Wow. Yeah. I say let this go to court for sure. You know, he's going to have his day in court. I feel bad for this person, but maybe they can get justice if this is true, if this is what happened, you know. So sent fraud info on. Okay. I guess that's it. I guess we can wrap up. Let me see. I'll take a look at the chat before we get out of here. Read some of the chat, kind of engage a bit. Brittany, thank you for the 13-month membership. The membership chat says, this is why Jared hasn't been in any new videos. I didn't know that. And one of the last videos, they announced that AWP has a new CEO. Jared was basically severed from AWP. Oh, if that's true, that makes sense then. That makes sense. Sal says, look at the comment from Anthony 1994. Hello? What? Yeah. Okay. Okay. And iCkEdMeL Anthony NY Diver is ex AWP. Oh, is he really? Oh, Anthony's in here? iCkEdMeL, drop your call line for Anthony in your chat. Okay, let's do it. Let me hold on 1 second. Let me just give me 1 second and let me log into the Google Voice and Studio. All right. And you know what? Who I really feel bad for too? There was that other ex-member of, I don't know the whole story, that other ex-member of AWP. He had to delete his whole social media because he had spoken out against them. That's what I'm saying. There's like an immense pressure. This guy had a decent following. And even he had to like shut his whole internet because these people came in droves, I guess, attacking this guy. The mob and shit, right? I forgot the guy's name. You guys know in the chat, right? Seemed like a really nice guy. He used to be a part of AWP. And he got tricked too into some interview, and the person was recording him the entire time, apparently, without his knowledge, from what I heard, but I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna call into my show. While I'm calling in, this is the number though. I'll drop it in the chat. I'm looking to talk to this guy first though. Sam, yeah. Sam. Let me call in. I probably should learn the history too. Maybe on my off time, I'll try to learn the history of these of AWP.
Thank you for
so
calling
I can
Call-In
talk
Studio's
about it
host and call screener line.
more knowledgeably.
Please enter your show or meeting number and press pound.
Let me do that.
Host. You
Okay.
are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-In Studio web interface.
So if we can let this person call first, don't call in yet. Let Okay, yeah, Anthony 1994 diver. Thank you for the screenshot, level-headed. I work with AWP, and if you want to talk and know what happened to the crew, let's talk. Yeah, if you want to call in, Anthony, maybe you can fill me in. Yo, down the rabbit hole news, I 100% agree with you. Regardless of the time, a victim is still a victim. And I love her channel as well, too. You guys make sure you check out Down the Rabbit Hole News. Let's see here. Okay, so the call-in number is 954-787-3009. If Anthony, I don't know if he meant he wanted to call in on air or if he was talking about off air. That's Sam. I watched the Sam's video too. I mean, he had said some pretty interesting stuff. I think even about Jared, right? Wasn't he talking about Jared? Sam the Adventure Man found out some shady stuff. I think Sam the Adventure Man found out some shady stuff and wasn't happy. And I remember one of the videos that I watched of Sam, he had said that he's not into this internet stuff, you know, so he's just living his life, you know, he likes doing what he's doing, but they started coming down on him. People started coming for him and shit. And I understand. I can imagine the pressure. Thank you for just putting the link. Hey, that guy seemed really genuine. Sam the Adventure Man, yeah. Okay, this is her channel too. Just plug in some channels. Make sure you check her out. So far, I don't have any calls. I don't think he's gonna call in. And so I'm seeing people in the chat say he hasn't been in recent videos. So if that's the case, I guess that's a smart idea. Let this guy handle what he has to handle in court, and they can keep. Oh, and that's what my friend told me too. Sam was getting paid shit too. So I think now he's kind of reminding me a little bit. Sam had asked for a little bit of money or asked for more money or something like that. And I don't know. They didn't want to give it to him, I guess. I don't know the whole story. Sherry says Sam didn't agree with all the shady shit Jared was doing. Sam's heart was in the right place. I wonder what Sam thinks of all this too. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of crazy to see some of the full circle stuff come around, you know, in life too. Because I know I don't even know how to describe, but I just noticed there's like people that are in the moment and don't see the bigger picture at the time. And so they fall into all these little things of people that are fake or people that are, a lot of times, what I've seen a lot of times on throughout YouTube is a lot of these people are like perpetrators of what they're speaking out against. You know, like me, I can actually say I was the one that I was in a DV situation, and I don't even like say I personally like being called victim or saying I was a victim, but I was the one that was attacked. Cops were involved, and I didn't press charges. I have the record, I have the screenshots, I have everything documented in case. But I felt guilty at the time, even though I wasn't the one that did it. I didn't put my hands on this person. This person that put their hands on me. This person actually literally called the cops on themselves. Like, okay, you want to call the cops? Okay, call the cops on themselves. They got arrested. And so, but I see a lot of these people, some of these YouTubers or whatever, these people are the actual perpetrators, and then they're out there speaking on it and trying to like, oh, we're advocating or we're speaking up for blah blah blah. These are the criminals out there. You know, it just blows my mind sometimes. And, you know, people have a past, people do things, I understand that, but some people are just shady, liars, manipulators, you know. The OnlyFans stabber, oh yeah, and there was an update with that, I think, too. Level header said check Discord. Okay. Yeah, I checked already. Anthony Diver. I just called. What? Okay. I have somebody here. Let me take this call in the meantime then while we're here. 321, how you doing? Is this Cheeks?
This is Anthony.
Anthony. Oh, thank you so much for calling, man.
How you doing?
Good. I'm just kind of
Before you put me on, how do I pronounce your name, sir?
Oh, it's iCkEdMeL, but you could just call me Mel.
No, okay.
Um,
I just wanted to touch base with you before we went on live, or
we're live right now, by the way. It's FYI.
No worries.
Yeah, I can reach out to you after too if you want to talk like off air, but I just want to give you the warning and courtesy that we are live right now.
Okay.
Did you want to talk on live, or you prefer off air?
Well, I would have liked to touch base with you first offline, just so we could just get an establishment here and just.
So how about we do this?
Where I'm coming from.
Okay, if you want, after I get off the stream, we can talk one-on-one off air, and then if you feel like coming on, I could just do a pre-recorded video next time of our conversation.
I mean, whatever works best for you. I just felt like I should give my perspective of what I've seen from my time with them. And I kind of have a checkered past with AWP for some things that they put me through recently. And that kind of explains why I haven't been appearing in any videos lately.
Can you give us some of the history, maybe, or like how you started with them? And...
Yeah, it basically started out a couple years ago. During COVID lockdown, I got into scuba diving and reached out to a couple of YouTube channels that were into diving. Jared's happened to be one of them. Basically sent him an email saying, hey, if you're ever in the tri-state area and you need some help, I have the tools, the experience, and the equipment to help you guys out. And that was when Sam was with him as well. And I first met up with them in February of 2020 in Tennessee to help solve the Bill Simmons case. I was there in Tennessee with them for the full week. After that, I went back home. He went back on the road. I think it was March of this year. Jared and Doug reached out to me stating that Doug was going to be on the road by himself. And this was right when Doug first became a certified diver and really didn't have much experience under his belt at the time. Jared wanted me to go with Doug on the road because there was no other divers with him. Basically a safety diver and just have another diver there for safety. Went to Philadelphia. We went and solved the, what case was that? We solved another one in Philadelphia. And then a couple of weeks later, he started making the announcements that he was getting a second RV and trailer on the road. Basically, he offered me a full-time job, paid job, signed a non-disclosure agreement, signed a contract employment agreement. A couple weeks go by, I put my 2-week notice in at my job, let them know I'm starting something new. I wait a few more weeks, it gets closer to my start date, which was supposed to be September 17th of this year. I called Jared to find out when my travel details are when I'm traveling back on the road with them. And this was less than 3 weeks of my start date. And he tells me, oh, we're moving in a different direction. We don't need you anymore. And this was right after he solved the Kylie Rhodes case. And basically, his reasoning was they said they want to move in a different direction. And basically what I got from them was Jared said he wanted to go with law enforcement, to train and teach law enforcement, which kind of circles back into why Sam is no longer with AWP. Because Sam is not getting paid. Again, I'm good friends with Sam. I don't want to go too much into his story without speaking with him first, because again, that's his story.
Right.
But I can tell you from what I was told and from what I got from the videos from Sam and Jared putting out during that little time was Sam wasn't getting paid. Jared was making a lot of money. He had $1 million budget for this year. and yet he couldn't throw the man a salary to keep him comfortable at home, to pay his bills while he's on the road, to help take care of his girlfriend and his family. But yet it's okay for Jared to put his likeness on stickers, patches, and shirts and sell and keep all the profit and not give Sam even a salary. Jared liked it when everybody was volunteering. That's why he loved it when Nug and Depths of History and Chaos Divers, he loved it when us volunteers wanted to come out and help him because it was all free labor. And when it came time to paying people, they just slipped away. And that's kind of why Sam left and Dan left. Dan didn't like the way the channel was going. He didn't like what Jared was putting these families through. They could see it. It wore them down daily.
Who was the other person you mentioned that left?
Dan? He was one of the first and original cameramen and editors.
Okay.
He was pretty much the executive producer, kind of. He would help with the production, filming, editing, a lot of the social.
So how long were you were with AWP before they told you did 2 gigs with them, like 2, or was it more than that?
I worked on more than one case, but I was able to help solve 2 cases.
Oh, gotcha.
It was basically 2 different road trips. I joined them up for 2 different road trips, once in Tennessee and once in Philadelphia and Jersey.
What was it like working with them?
To be honest, when the cameras were off, great. It was a lot of fun, camaraderie, just a bunch of guys hanging out, having fun, like what you would think it would be with just a couple of guys that had not a care in the world, that were just out there having fun, trying to just do good for other people. And the overall message was good. It was just how it was getting portrayed and displayed out there wasn't the greatest, and it rubbed some people the wrong way.
Well, do you know why? I was wondering why, like, Sam, because he deleted his channel, right? Like, he deleted his channel, just kind of disappeared. Seems like, I don't know if he came back. You know, if
he wants to separate himself from AWP. So if you've actually looked at his channel, he did delete his channel, or took it offline, but he brought it back without any of the AWP videos or collaboration videos.
Okay.
He took them all out. He purged his channel of AWP.
Wow. Were you surprised to hear this news today about the allegations and the charges that he's been indicted on?
I was surprised with the indictment. I'm going to be honest. I knew about the charges. He was up front and told us in the beginning, not the beginning, but when he wanted to hire me on full time, he did bring that up, stating that there could be some things you might hear from other people, and kind of wanted to give me his little side of the story, which basically you reiterated with his emails that he wrote, because he basically said the same story he's feeding the alleged victim, or victim, I shouldn't even say that, to what stories he's feeding everybody else online is kind of the same story and fluff he gave me.
Wow.
And he kind of basically tried to spin it into the package it was a pattern of history where us as the older family members are trying to break this pattern, and he tried to spin it in a light that made him seem less guilty.
So he was open about this, telling people, it seems like with the AWP and you people that came on.
Correct. I would say more open with the inner circle of AWP. Yes. Okay.
Wow.
It wasn't like something he was saying to fans or writing back into random emails. It was, more personal and inner circles type of thing.
Wow. Did you have any, I told you, like the camaraderie and all that stuff was good. Did you see anything shady, or everything was just kind of, besides I don't know. Have you noticed any shady things, or specifically with Jared, or not really?
Well, honestly, it was more or less it was pretty much more financial. Like, he was a penny pincher. He was very frugal with his money. Other than that, he never showed any kind of signs of being a bad person or, not treating others with kindness, whether it was random fans or, you know, the waitresses at this restaurant or whatever. He was always treating people with kindness. And I never saw any red flags as to his personality or demeanor towards others, to be truthful, 100% honest with you.
Okay.
And he is the same bubbly person he is on camera. He really is that person off camera. He may drop a few curses or more jokes here and there, but he's pretty much the same person with the same goofy jokes on camera as he is off camera, except just being himself.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of shocked about all this. And it seems like some people did know, like you're saying, this is what this person is saying, and I feel bad for the person as well. And I can understand too how maybe they're afraid to kind of come and like even put their story out there, because you know, I had seen some of the stuff with Sam, which seems like a really nice, genuine guy from the stuff that I saw, and he just didn't want to be a part of it.
He really is. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. He is 100% genuine on and off camera, 24 hours a day. And it was very sad what Sam had to go through. It really was. Sam was a great guy.
Wow.
And he still is. I talk to him all the time. I got his number. We chat. He's a good guy. He's just trying to work on himself and get his life together where he wants to be.
Did you know about the whole, I don't know, whatever scam that was? It seems like he might have been running the pump and dump stock thing. Did you know about that or no?
No, any about the knowledge about that was either before my time or never brought up around me. And I had no knowledge or wind of it until just a few moments ago, actually.
All right. Anybody else have any questions before I let him go? And I'll reach out to you after too if you want to talk privately.
I do want to say that there is one person I'd like to thank she sent me a link for this live chat. I honestly had no idea about your channel, but Jen B, she's been really nice, good friend of mine on Twitter, sent me a link, DM me your link. So.
Oh, thank you. Jen Bean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her Twitter handle is @JenBYO1.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Jen. DM me sometime too if you want. Yeah. If anybody has any questions,
I do have a few more minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. I know you gotta go. Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to answer.
Okay.
And if you want to sit down and, you know, talk a little further in the future, we can. This was kind of spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Just a thing that I could think randomly.
Yeah, me too. I normally don't like to do something like this on live first. I like to sit down, like you're saying. I like to sit down and talk with the person and kind of plan a couple of questions. But since we had you here and everybody's here, you know, just to give a little insight. I guess that's it. Yeah, I guess we'll just leave it here. And I'm kind of careful with what I'm saying because legally, you know, with these people, you know, so.
Of course. No, and the reason why nobody's probably heard of me or my story is because I don't have a platform or YouTube channel like Sam did or does to be able to make a video or a response video to something, or
right.
It was just something that I didn't have the opportunity or chance to do. So I just figured I would just disappear into the depths of history and nobody would ever know about it. And that was fine with me until I saw that he was actually getting charged with this and that this is real. This isn't just some old story that people are bringing up old history. This is present. He is being charged today. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, this is today. Yeah. One final question, and I think you kind of answered it, but somebody was asking if there's more victims. The person that said they allege that there is, like, in the family. I know the one thing you said was like he has said like they were having family issues and it was like something they're trying to overcome. Do you know if he had mentioned being other people or in general?
No. That I can say no from my experience, from what I heard, no. But from what history tells us is nobody just starts out with one and stops with one.
Right.
It can't be, and again, it is allegedly, but I hate using that word because it implies that it may have not have happened. And
you say allegedly? Yeah, I know. I feel weird too, but like, because of legal reasons, the only reason I'm doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you coming on and giving us some of the feedback and kind of trusting me too to come on because I know you don't know what you're going to get on the internet these days.
Like I said, no, And I don't, and that's kind of what happened with Sam was he got hoodwinked. Somebody, recorded his conversation with knowledge and put a video out there, and that kind of hurt him because he's not that type of person. He's not vindictive. He's not trying to, hurt or ruin anybody in any way, shape, or form. He just wants to be left alone and do his own thing. And he thought he was just expressing his feelings and emotions, and it turned out that wasn't the case. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to say something, because I personally, I don't care what people think about me.
Right.
I don't. Life's too short for that. I wake up with a smile on my face. I know that I'm going to do better for myself, and that's all that matters to me.
One more final thing too. Wendy's asking, are you doing well and working? Like, are you okay? Since, because you're not working with them anymore.
No, unfortunately, I'm unemployed at the moment. I may be contacting a lawyer to take legal action against Jared at AWP based on the contract employment agreement I've signed, but I'm just trying to take stock of my position right now.
Okay. And is there anywhere people can follow you or reach out to you? Or do you have any kind of Twitter or something like that?
I do have a Twitter and a YouTube, but I'm mainly active on Twitter.
Okay.
I only have like one video on YouTube.
Okay.
But yeah, it's my Twitter handle is my same YouTube handle. It's Anthony1994NY.
Anthony1994NY. If I can find you.
Or NY. And then they could also follow me on YouTube as well if they'd like.
It's a cat and dogs?
What's that, sir?
Is it a cat and like two dogs in the background?
Yeah. Okay. This is my homies, man. This is my homies.
All right. I'm going to show them that. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. One quick, I know you said you had to go. Somebody asked a great question though. Did you have any thoughts on the whole Kylie Rodney case and how it was handled or anything with AWP and like how that all went down?
Well, I basically followed that case up until the point where they did the live stream saying we found her, there was more info coming. That's pretty much when I found out that they were no longer going to need my services and kind of fired me before I started. So I pretty much blocked all AWP channels and, wasn't interested in any of that because, to be honest, it hurt too much. I thought I should have been out there with them, but I wasn't. So it kind of I didn't want to see it because I wasn't there type of deal. So I didn't really catch anything after to notice that they found her. I kind of, just put that in the back and tried to pass over all of it.
Okay. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it again. And I'll text if this is your number. I'll just text you so you have my number. And if you want to talk sometime, what I'm gonna try to do one of these days is familiarize myself with the history of AWP so I can actually have a better conversation.
And that was kind of why I wanted to call and give you just a little brief history of my experience with them and where I started, because I was only part of it for a couple of years. He's been doing it since, end of 2019. So he's been doing it for a while, and I just wanted to be a part of it until I found out the truth.
Right.
And, found out in time of what his true colors were and what kind of a person makes somebody put in their 2-week notice, quits a job, signs a non-disclosure agreement, signs contract agreement, doesn't call that person, waits for that person to call and say, hey, when's my travel details? Oh, by the way, you don't have a job. You know what I mean? What kind of person does that after when they're on camera saying, oh, they care about people, they're doing this because they care, blah, 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 all the BS he spills, but yet you would do this to somebody who's supposed to be an employee and be part of the family.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's kind of
where
weird.
I saw the true colors.
And interesting how things seem to be coming like full circle, kind of. I don't. It's crazy. It's horrible too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Anthony. Man, appreciate it. We'll be in touch.
No problem. No.
Right.
If you have any time later, reach out.
Yes, I definitely will. Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm gonna save his number. Let me just save it on a notepad. And I'll text him later so he has my number. Yeah, I need to, there's a whole history of AWP. And I need to, I'm going to one day try to familiarize myself and see what I can learn. And then maybe I'll talk to this guy. And again, like I said, I'm covering myself legally and stuff like that. All parties are innocent until proven guilty. We're talking about the the allegations, presenting the information. We presented the court documents and what the alleged victim, I don't mean any disrespect for that, said in the Reddit post. It's just crazy. And so, and I think if this is really the emails, which I'm sure they can verify, it's not that hard. That's going to be pretty damning. And it's super smart that this person, I guess they had felt comfortable thinking, oh, statute of limitations, but then Utah, I guess they don't have it there, or they have a longer one, Let me see real quick too. I think Gypsy did want me to call her. I don't want to keep this stream too long either, because I kind of wanted people to watch it and be able to I'll timestamp it. This is a page here. I was sent this as well. I can read this real quick. This is Jared's page. Who am I and what's my story? I live my life as an open book with no skeletons. If someone wants to know something, just ask me. I care about people and their feelings. Always wanting to encourage and uplift, but know that if you ask me something, I'll always be honest and direct. It may hurt your feelings at times, but know that I don't want to beat around the bush, and you'll always know where I stand. Some of you may have found this page after researching my name, Jared Leisek, or Jared Ray Leisek, and want to determine if I am worthy of your trust, friendship, your time, and or your business. We live in a digital age, and I have nothing to hide. Wow! So sit back and let me share my story. I'll touch my childhood, my marriage, my homeless experience, success, failures, and yes, I even share the time I was investigated by the SEC back in 2001. My story is similar to many others. Broken home, multiple marriages for both parents, tossed into foster care system at the age of 9, and often wondering why new children and stepkids were put on a pedestal and often feeling left abandoned. My grandparents finally stepped in and took me into their home. This is the time in my life which I learned proper hygiene, how to cook, clean, iron, how to love and be loved. I can't say I was always good for them, nor did I always stay out of trouble. But without them, I don't think I would have had the fighting chance for who I've become today. I thank and love my grandparents for the chance, the change, and the opportunities they provided me. I will say this: parenting does not come with a handbook. We can't choose our parents, but we do choose to be parents. So to be the best parent you can be, while you can't change history, you can learn from your mistakes and the mistakes of others. Make a change for the future. High school dropout and homeless. I returned to live with my father later in life, when he was between marriages. He soon married wife number 4. Damn. And once again, I felt that we kids took a backseat to the new family. I bounced from friend's house to friend's house and finally dropped out of school. My journey took me to Grenada in the Bahamas. There we go. And other parts of America. So that when I looked this up, apparently there's a couple of places called Grenada. And so I guess he must specifically be talking about the Bahamas, which is what he spoke about in that video that I haven't watched yet, where people had, I guess, claimed that he disappeared for a while. I ran out of money and soon became homeless, sleeping in parks, bushes, and hotel stairwells. I even sold perfume door to door, but it never seemed to make enough, leaving me eating at soup kitchens, wandering hotel halls, looking for more service leftovers, and yes, I have even eaten out of garbage cans. During this 1.5 year long journey, I learned that I really didn't know everything, and as a result, I went back to school. My junior high school, I don't know why. I just, even though it's public, I'll read this without, it's kind of embarrassing with all the shit that's going on. I want to put his kids and family. My junior high year in high school, I put together a 10-page application to date Jared Leisek for fun one day. I handed it to 20 or so girls who I was interested in, some who I was not, and some who I had hoped had an interest in me. One of the girls was in my English class, and I never thought I had a chance with her. She filled it out with near perfect answers along with the lipstick print. I almost kind of don't really care too much about this, but I guess this is like his marriage and wife. Dating for 1.5 years, we graduated high school together in 1995 and married later that summer. Here we are over 20 years later, and I can't think of a better person to have by my side as a wife and mother. She's my best friend, and I enjoy our weekly dates. The way she looks at me, the laughter and our time together. It's my goal in life to keep my family together, to keep my girls grounded, while at the same time giving them a life like no other. As a husband and father, I have a lot of responsibility, and I'm grateful for that. I have a good fortune that I have had the good fortune of providing for them with my time and activities. Working mostly out of the home office or taking the laptop on the road has afforded me the opportunity to be around them. And with them, as I have grown with less than a year to go, my youngest will be an adult and can't wait to see the next chapter in life. Okay, we'll read this. It's kind of interesting. Let's see, I guess. Now for some sad truth. While I have had an amazing life with my wife and 2 daughters, I am saddened that I have a daughter who was not part of my life and that we have all missed out on the adventures along the way. You see, back in high school, I had a fling and had always suspected that I might have a daughter out there. When she was 5, I pushed for a paternity test and was happy to hear that she was mine and how she would blend into our family. However, you can only imagine how one would feel thinking you are your child's father, only to learn that you are not. Her father became vindictive and swore I'd never get a chance in helping raise her. I can't say that I blame him for what he did in keeping her from me. She tracked me down in secret near the end of her high school years, and it was so great having a relationship with her. She wanted answers but was never satisfied with my responses. She felt I didn't try and fight hard enough for her despite the stack of court documents I kept through the years. There's a hole in my heart for not being part of her life. My heart hurts that she asked I not attend her graduation. Damn. My heart hurts that I was not invited to her wedding. My heart hurts that I have a grandson in this world who I've only ever gotten to see grow up through pictures and videos. It hurts that she and her husband don't respond to my texts or emails. For the time being, I've given up reaching out as to not drive her further away and wait patiently for the day she lets me back in her life. She can't understand how I can love her, but as a father, you will always love your child regardless of the lack of time you have had together through the years. Wow. Hobbies, aside from scuba diving, golf, the only hobby I can think and talk about almost daily is powered paragliding. There's nothing quite like it as it gives you the ability to fly, dangling your feet in the wind, rushing through the air. Stock market, how much does this go on? Bankruptcy. From 1998 to 2001, I was a day trader riding the wave of having a good time like thousands of others. If you reflect and think for a moment, the internet was still in its infancy and trading online had come into play not long before this date. There were message boards, chat rooms, news feeds, websites that we day traders would follow for stock announcements. Based upon these announcements, we would quickly buy and sell, hoping to be in early and out within 30 minutes. It was a game. Some rounds I won, some I lost. It was the losing that didn't sit well with me, and I thought to myself, what if I knew which stocks these websites were going to profile ahead of time? I started doing research on SEC regulations and found that if I recommended stocks, I had to be licensed with the SEC. However, I found that if I simply profiled stocks by not telling others to buy or sell, but simply profiling and reporting my research on what I deemed a good, viable company, then I was within the written SEC code. So I let out my first website, Adventures, in early 2000, building 2 websites, gained followers through Yahoo message boards, and began profiling my own stock picks. Yes, I bought stock in thinly traded companies. Yes, I told friends and family to buy stock. And yes, we often sold these stocks within minutes. Okay, so he's admitting all the shit. I mean, he was caught already. So after profiling our stocks picks on our websites to other day traders, what a rush it was, turning 3,000 into 250,000 in just a few months. One day, FedEx showed up at my door with paperwork from the SEC stating that I was being investigated as part of a nationwide crackdown on hundreds like me who were running smaller or similar websites in a space and time where there were no specific SEC rules regulating our activities, with the internet and day trading being new. Some were simply profiling as I was, while others were flat out making recommendations to buy and sell, which was already written in stone and was illegal if one was not a licensed broker. In the end, I lost my, sorry. Damn it. Okay. In the end, I received a slap on the wrist and told not to profile stocks on such websites. No actual charges were ever filed. No fines, just an investigation that led me to better understand the newly formed laws and new interpretation of the existing SEC rules. Of course, I comply with the request, and I am free to trade stocks to this day. It was a defining moment in history, as the SEC has written new laws, rules, and regulations to help protect a new breed of online traders that I followed. So what do I make of these stock market days, and what have I learned? I have learned that the big boys manipulate stocks on a daily basis. I feel bad for those who continue to place their hard-earned money into the trust of brokers and companies which they have absolutely zero control over. Most stocks and trading is a game of corruption and greed, so be very careful if it's something you want to invest in and be a part of. Do I still trade to this day? You bet. Amazing. Damn, this guy goes in like his whole freaking life story. Jesus. I don't want to read all this. Bankrupt twice. The act of filing bankruptcy in 2002 made me feel like a failure. Well, I didn't enjoy being broke. It's by far the best lesson in my life I have learned. It humbled me, taught me to appreciate more, and since that time I have learned to treat all with respect regardless of their background. Real estate. Okay. I think I'm done with this. A lot of crap. Right? The chat. I think that's it, man. I'm kind of like, I'm worn out here for now. Where did this come from? You're going to have to rewind back. We put the charges on the screen multiple times. But we've covered it pretty in depth. Petunia, I have questions about Nick Rinn. Do you remember a little girl a couple of years ago kicking and screaming at her mother and grandmother refusing to go with them in a custody exchange? No. Who knows, too, how much of the life story is true, right? What happened? He's been charged. Well, I should say, let me correct that. He's been indicted on charges of, I'll just put it on the screen. I guess a lot of people are still kind of coming in. It's maybe news to them. He's going to have to go to court. Yeah, Jared wasn't 12. Not, if you calculate it, he's either 16 or 17 at the time. So, well, if those emails are true, which, it seems like it is, they're going to, like I said, I would have to see the actual address, which I'm sure she showed them that. I think she'd have a good case if he admitted it. Maybe she might need witnesses. Maybe she's going to need other people that known about this, that he's talked to about this. Yeah, the 9-year-old, 10-year-old thing, that's on the... I didn't get the best quality of this one. But in 1992, the victim was between 9 and 10 years old. The defendant is 7 years older than the victim. What the document says. I was talking to this, well, maybe I'll leave it alone. Aw, so cute. Cute baby. Somebody sent me a baby picture. So I don't know. And like I said, at the end of the day, I know there's people that are going to be pissed. They don't want to accept it or whatever. That's it's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? And he does have his day in court, so we'll have to see what it turns out to. People can be mad all they want, or they can be mad at me. It's public information. It's out there, And, So, and then we'll have to see too, because I don't know if he's going to release a public statement. Maybe he will. And the date is November 30th. I guess he has to make an appearance before the judge. Or maybe he just sends his lawyer. He probably won't have to actually appear himself, maybe, but he'll send a lawyer probably. And I don't know in this case, if you're truly admitted, I mean, the weird shit is, like I said, cousin, family members, allegedly, and that this person was saying that there had been other people. And in those emails that there's been other family that have had issues or I don't know what's going on in that family, bro. I can't even tell you. And maybe this person has been struggling for years and they finally come out. And now, because of the whole statute of limitations thing, they couldn't do it in Vegas, but they could do it in Utah. So, but yeah, for the people that just joined late, I read everything. I think it's really, if you haven't seen the information, you should like go back, start from the beginning. I'm gonna have Crisscross timestamp it for me if she's available today. I don't know. I'm gonna have her timestamp it for me, and you know, the alleged victim had made posts on Reddit. Apparently, they've been trying to get attention on this for a while, but nobody was listening. And now because of these emails is what I'm hearing. Because of the supposed emails, allegedly now she was able to go to Utah and like press charges. And from what people are telling me, supposedly they had started distancing themselves from him. You know, I don't know, AWP. You know, I don't know what else, because she said that there was other people. You know, if that's true, I don't know if these people would come forward. She had said supposedly to allegedly that her mother knew about it. You know, I mean, I can understand somebody feeling completely intimidated or whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Sniper says Utah has no statute of limitations. Okay, for rape. Other states vary from 6 years and longer. Okay. It is a lot to take in. Yo, I'm telling you. And for me, I haven't been following. Maybe for the people that have been following these guys or Jared, but some people have said they always thought this guy was a little off, but I couldn't believe it this morning. I was just in shock. It was kind of weird that if this was really that he mentioned, what's up with he mentioned Mormonism at one point. Look at that. Do we point it to the Leisek or Jewish lineage? And what does that mean, lineage? So does that mean like what? It runs in the family? Like this is just what they do in the family? If that is that what they're saying? I don't know. Or do we pinpoint this to Mormonism? Is Sylvia out there? I don't know, bro. Life is just crazy. All the things that have been going on lately, it's just, and it's been nonstop. You can't spell out right. If you're talking about the title, I try to avoid it because YouTube doesn't like that in the title, so I try to avoid it. I'm sure this video is going to get demonetized. That's fine, but I don't want to, if I don't need to screw the algorithm. Crazy, man. And we were just talking about the other day about the, you know, the incest family stuff. Family history. Shit. This is odd, bro. Anyway. Hey, and thank you so much for Anthony to come on and Jen that sent him the link. And I guess, yeah, Sweet Bias said I could use a chaser now. Yo, me too. Me too. How the tides have turned, huh? No, Vandal Vlogs. I don't know why he said that. I don't know. Yo, and I've had engagement with the Mormons before. I don't have anything against those people, but there was a story I covered. I talked about it yesterday. where this girl went missing. Well, I believe we're pretty sure she ran away because of the family's religion and strictness. And at that time, I had some of the Mormons reaching out to me. They were upset, and her friends that are Mormon called me from the church and shit. They wanted to talk, and then one of the Mormons joined Discord and they started DMing me on Discord. They were upset. I was like, damn. I don't think Mormons got. I mean, we can't put this on Mormons. I mean, I don't know what he's trying to say, but you know. Hey, Blair, what's up, man? I'm curious, man. If you talk about this later, I'm probably gonna watch while I'm doing. You guys check out the Glare too. I like his commentary. He's pretty funny too. I'll probably later on when I'm doing stuff, I'll tune in if you talk about it at some point. Curious to see what you have to say because you're pretty well spoken. You have a lot. Oh, Silvio. Silvio said I got a lot of weird moment stories. I'm gonna have to call Silvio today too. I want to know what Silvio thinks of this shit. You want me to call you, Silvio? Are you working? Yeah, you can't put this on the Mormons, man. I mean, there's been some weird stuff, but you can't put this on this action, this alleged action. You going live in like 15? All right. Let me see if I call this guy. You know let me see. Let me see. Just chilling. And Daughter's King. That Daughter's King stuff was weird too. I'm sorry. All right. What I'm gonna do too, I'm gonna try something out. I'm heading out of here, and since Glare is going live, right? I'm gonna test out if I can move everybody over there and just show some love. I'm gonna put the link in the. Let me see if it lets me reroute. So when I end this, it'll just push everybody there. And then if you guys want to hang out there too, and see what he has to say, show support. Let me see, redirect. Search videos from other channels. I think I see it. Redirect privileges needed. Oh, still asking me. So Glare, if you're watching, you're gonna. I don't know if you want to try to turn on the access for me to. There's new options now because YouTube did this thing, right? So you can redirect. You can enable that anybody can redirect to your channel. I just found that out recently. It's a new thing. So if you're going to your settings and you enable that, either enable it for my channel or just enable it for everybody, and so I can just move everybody over there and pay it forward, right? I don't have direct contact. I might be able to DM him, but if you can enable that, then I can move people to your channel. Yeah. Any other thoughts, man? You guys, the chat. I really can't believe I spent my day over here like this, like because I really thought. I mean, it's only 2 hours, but I had no idea it was gonna be. Oh, it has to be live already. No, to me, I'll show you my screen. That's what it says. Hold on. Redirect. Where's that at? Add redirect. Maybe it has to be live. When I click on this thing, it says redirect privileges needed. It doesn't have to be live, actually. You can redirect without somebody being live. I've redirected to scheduled streams all the time. It says ask the Glare to add you to their live redirect list in the community settings. Does anybody know how to reach Glare? You can redirect to other channels. It's new. Popcorn Planet redirected to me the other day. Thanks, Kasi. We got to talk too. I can just drop his link in the channel. Yeah, I'll drop the link here. Try it now. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can push it forward. Redirect. See, this would be good to know for the future or anything too, in case. It still says redirect privileges needed. Videos from your subscribers channel. Search your videos. The link in chat took me there. Okay. Oh, really? That's nice. Who's that? Benny Keys trying to tell people to watch you. I hear Benny Keys is going live too. One of my friends told me. He's pretty funny to watch. He when I was going through all that crazy shit with this other guy, the nut, he made a really funny video that kind of made my day. I know that guy has a checkered past, but that shit was just funny, man. I needed that laugh. Or at least that's what I hear. You know, I never really talked to the guy like that, but bruh. And I really wonder who's gonna talk about this shit, right? Are some of these channels gonna keep quiet about it? You know, I don't think, even if you do support them, I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about this, right? Because it's specifically about one member, and it's a really big allegation. I wonder if this is gonna be in the news. Let me try refreshing my page too. Maybe I need to refresh it to redirect. So I think it would be nice to at least have people go somewhere instead of just ending it without going anywhere, you know? Then I can listen while it won't let me for some reason. Oh, you can't figure it out? Okay, that's fine. So we just put the link in the chat. Unless you want to go to Benny. I don't think Benny probably doesn't. I think a lot of people don't know about the settings. It's brand new. So I think people just don't know. Let me see. It'd be nice. I want to try it. I want to try passing it out to. Oh, we can do it to Benny. All right. So if he can't figure it out, they'll probably cancel me too for forwarding it to Benny. But why not? Is he ending his stream or he's been live for a little bit? Yeah. Let's send it to Benny. Who knows? Maybe Benny can, if Glare figures it out, maybe he can redirect to. And you know what I want to see? I just want to see the reaction. Can we just go there and just, you know? I just want to show the reaction. I want to see. I'm going to watch him. So I'm going to end this stream. And I'm going to push you guys to Benny. All right, since we can't get the Glare, but you can check out the Glare too. Put the link in the chat. Is that other chick? I'm not supporting that chick. The one you mentioned in the chat. She's been talking and entertaining bullshit with me for months. So no, I'm good with that shit. A lot of these people that have been entertaining nonsense with me and like the fairy tales that these people made up and fueled, not just me and other people, no love over here. I'm good on that. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of these people's characters over time is going to show, just like allegedly with this incident, just with the other wacko weirdo YouTuber. A lot of these people's characters, they're just going to have like this long track history of shit. And some people don't care about that. They're there for the entertainment. I understand that. All right, still alive. Let's just go. Let's go. So I did it. Love you guys. See you on the other side. Thank you so much. Hit like on the way out. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Moving.